Yeah, we definitely have a new star for Misfits.
As Darren Till came out with the UD win over Darren Stewart this past weekend. You know, people like Darren Till. He's got a good personality. He's very entertaining to watch.
He's levels above like most guys there, you know. He actually has real experience.
Since we're not going to get KSI and Jake Paul, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Darren Till get in there. I don't think KSI and his team were very eager to fight a guy like Darren Till.
Yeah, it's because he's a pussy. He just wants easy fights.
The big rumors. Teofimo Lopez is in talks and negotiations with Boots Ennis.
I think if I was Boots, I would love this fight. I just can't see Teofimo Lopez at 147, man. Where's the power? You know, the power is gone at 140, man. It's not the same.
And we have seen Boots' boxing ring IQ, and it's pretty high up there.
Teofimo's reputation is in the mud right now.
I don't know why Teofimo would say shit like that. Come on, bro. Like, you're getting recorded live by your dad.
Yeah, so is Teofimo Lopez going to get stripped from his belt?
Welcome back to another episode of the Last Round Podcast, where we cover everything from traditional boxing to influencer boxing and everything in between. In today's episode, we'll be going over Misfits 21, headlined by Darren Till as he took on Darren Stewart, as well as Aiden Ross's BrandRisk 07, and also giving our thoughts on the potential matchup between Boots Ennis as he takes on Teofimo Lopez at 147. But before we get into the episode, make sure to like and subscribe and follow us on all forms of social media. Lastly, we're trying to build up a community on Discord, and you guys joining would be greatly appreciated. And now, diving into the episode, we finally got our first Misfits event this year, or second, I'm not sure. Regardless, Misfits 21 was supposed to happen in March. Got postponed because KSI had a hand injury or had an injury, had to pull out. The whole card got postponed. New headliner was Darren Till as he took on Darren Stewart on Misfits 21. Now, Misfits, more specifically Mams, Taylor, and KSI, have been getting a lot of critique lately. A lot of people are claiming, you know, Misfits might be dying. You know, there's been a big regression on the fans at the venues. Big regression when it comes to the superstars that influencer boxing has. People saying that they heavily rely on KSIs, on Salt Poppies, on Jake Pauls, people like those big names that are able to attract the crowd. And a lot of critique is coming that influencer boxing might be dying. But with Darren Till and his emergence into the influencer scene, there seems to have been found some type of revival in that aspect, as Darren Till came out with the UD win over Darren Stewart this past weekend. So what are your guys' thoughts about this headliner by Darren Till and Darren Stewart?
Yeah, for me, I was super surprised about like the way the whole fight went. Very curious. Stewart had a really good game plan. It looked like he was being able to. I mean, for me, I feel like Stewart had the momentum riding on him, and then just out of nowhere, the last punch that Darren Till throws, he just sparks him out. Like, he drops him, boom, and he's able to get up. And I think if it wasn't for that lone knockdown, I think the scorecards would have been a little bit different. Yeah. But yeah, and that's another thing that surprised me the most, I think. You know, Darren Till is a guy who has experience. You know, he was an ex-UFC fighter. He's had combat experience. And I was kind of very surprised that he was struggling against a guy like Stewart. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, he still gets the win. And now he's looking for bigger and better things. You know, he keeps calling out for KSI, and, you know, KSI was there at the event. And so, I don't know, since we're not going to get KSI and Jake Paul, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Darren Till get in there.
Yeah, we definitely have a new star for Misfits. You know, they needed somebody, and what better guy than, you know, Darren Till. I believe he's Irish, so he has a mouth on him, charismatic, and he's winning. You know, he's winning fights. So I want to see him fight against KSI. I think that makes a lot of sense. Even KSI, he should want that fight as well, because if he wants to truly fight Jake Paul. I think there's an easy road, fighting ex-UFC fighters that are still active but obviously retired and they're semi-retired now. Seems like Darren Till is just doing this, as a side gig, and he's getting paid handsomely. So I'd love to see him fight KSI. I think that makes the most sense.
I think it does too, and I feel like, up until Darren Till fought Stewart, I don't think KSI and his team were very much motivated or very much eager to fight a guy like Darren Till. I think Darren Till, he hasn't been with fighting on the Misfits scene for a long time, right? But I feel like with him there, I think there was like a lot of eyes were on him, and I think a lot of people were, or a lot of fighters were maybe avoiding him, and I think maybe KSI was a little bit hesitant to go up against Darren Till.
Yeah, it's because he's a pussy. That's why. He just wants easy fights. I think it's pretty obvious, and even his fans, I feel like, are starting to kind of turn on him a little bit and say, like some like, come on, KSI. It's hard to defend him nowadays, and if he wants to, he can easily beat the allegations and just set up a fight with Darren Till. But maybe that won't even happen. Well, this is like for the 100th time, but we got some Twitter beef with Mams Taylor and the promoter of Jake Paul, saying that they're sending each other offers, and but we can never place too much merit on these, because how many times have we heard this? So maybe that'll come to something will happen with that. I don't think so. I think an easy route is just go to Darren Till.
True, but I feel with this recent performance, I think KSI might be a lot more motivated to fight Till now. I feel like Darren Till was, he left the fight with a busted up nose, all bloodied up, against a guy who didn't really have too much going for him. Stewart isn't a guy who has crazy skills or whatever, but he was able to kind of like make the fight very difficult and very uncomfortable for Darren Till. And so I think maybe KSI is going to take I really think he might fight Darren Till now.
Well, yeah, Darren Till afterwards came up right to KSI and was all like, let's me and you have it. KSI said, "Oh yes. After I fix my hand up and everything." KSI has stated repeatedly how he's thinking about getting surgery for his hand. Therefore, he might be out for 6 to a couple months, 6 weeks to a couple months away from boxing. So if KSI were to return, he would return later in the year. But look, Darren Till was initially, the first time was in January when he fought Anthony Taylor. But he was supposed to be fighting Tommy Fury. Yeah. We also saw Tommy Fury return not too long ago, and he looked garbage. Yeah. So Darren Till, this man wants to fight, and he wants to fight whomever steps into the ring with him. KSI seems to be avoiding him. Tommy Fury clearly avoided him. Yeah. The only people who you really see calling out Darren Till, we had Mike Perry make a post right after Till's win and call him out, saying, hey, let's have a go between Till and Perry. So there's a lot of interesting factors moving in the favor of Darren Till. A lot of people want to see him. Very exciting, especially he almost got a buzzer beater knockout in the main event. So people like Darren Till. He's got a good personality. He's very entertaining to watch, and overall, that's kind of what you need in the influencer scene, especially to be successful. Have a good mouth. Talk well, promote yourself well, and then be an exciting fighter inside that ring. So Darren Till, even though he just recently fought, I know for sure he wants to keep fighting over and over again this year. And for sure that KSI matchup is one that's really, really enticing him. But the question is, will KSI ever take that big fight? Probably not.
Well, hopefully, man. With Darren's career at the moment right now, I feel like he's really setting his eyes on the biggest star, and that would be KSI. But if he can't get KSI, I wouldn't mind him fighting someone else like Jake Paul, Tommy Fury. But if you can't get those guys, what would be the next best thing? That's kind of what I've been thinking about.
Well, I feel like he's just gonna pick off all the influencer guys, Yeah. He's gonna start collecting them like little infinity stones, because he's levels above all most guys there. He actually has real experience. So he can beat a lot of these guys like Anthony Taylor. I mean, Anthony Taylor beat Saul Poppy, and Saul Poppy was supposed to be one of the best influencer boxers that they have, and he knocked him out, didn't he? Or at least he dropped him. I
thought he stopped him.
Yeah, I believe he stopped him. So I mean, it's easy. That's what I think he's going to continue to do. I don't see a Jake Paul fight in the future for Darren Till. Unless he beats like KSI or something really huge, because Jake is on to like bigger and better things. He's fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. So that I don't think that's in the future, but we'll see.
Yeah, we also had in the card from Misfits 21 the very anticipated fight between Walid Sharks and FoxTheG. This fight had been brewing for quite some time. FoxTheG was saying, I'm going to make a big statement. Walid Sharks was kind of dismissive about FoxTheG, claiming that he's not on my level. He's going to find out soon. And then fight night happened, and FoxTheG was able to get the very, very clear UD win over Walid Sharks. Now, this set is very interesting because now that Walid Sharks has lost against FoxTheG, and the FoxTheG hype train keeps on fueling up, and now a lot of people are saying, yo, we want to see FoxTheG against Lil Cray Cray, against Yodi Gang, against Dean the Great. And the hype is so big for FoxTheG that they're saying, FoxTheG can beat Dean the Great. I mean, there's no getting around it that FoxTheG is the best lightweight fighter in the scene right now. Thoughts about that statement?
Well, for sure, he's definitely on the rise. You know what I'm saying? Like, from his very first fight that he had on Misfits, he came out with a bang. He's knocked out his opponent. And then he kind of took like a little break. But I feel like I think that was kind of smart a little bit on his end. I think, he made a big statement. And then he just kind of like backed off a little bit. And I think that made the fans want him more and more, like wanting to see him fight a little bit more. And you got this win against a tough dude. Walid Sharks is a guy who's always going to be game or whatever, and so he beats him. And I think now this opens the door for FoxTheG. I mean, there's a lot of guys there. I'm pretty sure there's a few guys that Misfits has on their roster that could fight FoxTheG, and FoxTheG is only going to get bigger from here now. I mean, I can think of him fighting for the belt, against Dean the Great. I can also Little Cray Cray. But I can also see him fighting Dean, and then maybe I can also see him fight, maybe not on Misfits, but on going up against Adam Saleh as well. Similar weight class. I think people still follow Adam as well, and I think FoxTheG is on the rise. So I think it's almost like old versus new, almost type situation. So yeah, I feel like the sky's the limit for this dude.
Yeah, I like FoxTheG. He has good dimensions for being that weight. I mean, he's tall, he's long, and he has decent skills for a guy who's just starting out. This is a huge win for him, a statement. It shows that at least there is some merit in the hype train, so he can continue. I think like those are some great fights. Adam Saleh. I mean, Adam Saleh just won recently in the BrandRisk promotion, so he can do that. I think like you said, the sky is the limit for FoxTheG. I just hope he stays dedicated.
Sky's the limit for FoxTheG, but for Walid Sharks, it seems that he has hit the ceiling. This was supposed to be the kind of to reignite his career. He hasn't fought on Misfits since 2023 when he took the loss against Dean the Great in the rematch. And honestly, watching the fight live and seeing them both fight, I was very, very disappointed in Walid Sharks, mainly because I saw no improvements and actually saw a regression from him. And people were claiming, it's because of the layoff. The ring rust is real, which it could be a good argument for Walid's poor performance. But I think Dean the Great said it himself well, that he took his confidence. I mean, he took his soul. That rematch loss that he took against Dean was everything that he had left, and it definitely showed against FoxTheG because early on FoxTheG was lighting up Walid Sharks in the first 2 rounds, but then FoxTheG kind of got tired, and he started holding a lot, and during those moments where FoxTheG's output began to decrease, that's when Walid Sharks should have started pushing a bit more. But I mean, Walid Sharks didn't even have a proper jab. He kind of just walked forward, no head movement. The defense was very bad. I mean, this was overall just a very poor performance from Walid Sharks. He never hurt FoxTheG. He never had FoxTheG in any trouble, even in the rounds, especially the third and fourth. I think the fourth round was the only round that I gave Walid, and even then, I mean, he didn't really do much. And it's only because FoxTheG got tired and he began holding, and there wasn't really much going on between both fighters. But Walid Sharks has definitely regressed. I mean, his emergence into the scene came when he got the controversial draw against Adam Saleh when he was 17 years old. And I mean, I thought Walid Sharks beat Adam Saleh that night. So his emergence into the scene compared to what he is now, I mean, there's been a huge regression, and I'm not sure if we're ever gonna get the a good version of Walid anymore. I think he's officially shot, man. He's washed, maybe.
Yeah, he was always cocky. You know, he always thought he was like so good.
Yeah.
And like, because he has a little bit of experience in the amateurs, and you know, he had that good performance in his first fight against Adam Saleh. But I mean, that's what I'm pretty sure it was just the cockiness. He probably thought he was levels above FoxTheG, and he probably didn't work as hard as he needed to. 2-year layoff, I'm sure. I mean, these guys aren't professional fighters, you know. They don't have like, they're not in crazy camps. So I just think it was, you know, overconfidence probably killed him. We'll probably see him around. You know how Misfits is. They love keeping their fighters. Yeah. But maybe he just drops down to the rankings. Maybe he's a tough journeyman or something like that. You know, someone you can beat, and then and then look for bigger and better things.
Yeah, that's so funny. So that's like on one side, you know, FoxTheG's career looks to be, you know, shining bright, and then on the other side, you know, on the other side of the coin is Walid. Yeah, you know, it's not looking good. And you know, I said it a few months ago when this fight was kind of like made. I said this was going to be a make or break fight. You know, the winner was going to move on to bigger and better things, and the loser was going to have a tough time and kind of like figure out and replan and rethink their future. Look, I think Walid Sharks still has a chance to continue to, you know, fight and give great performances and whatnot, but that performance, you know, wasn't the best. You know, it's not the performance that, you know, we are accustomed to seeing. It's not the performance that the fans want to see from a guy like Walid Sharks. And so, you know, it's gonna it took a massive hit to his career. I'm not really sure where he kind of can go from here, but yeah, it's not looking too good for Walid Sharks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this was detrimental. I think this is gonna play a bigger psychological effect on his mentality. I think this might be, like I said, I think he might be washed, man. I don't think there's much coming back. I mean, he's not a very active fighter regardless. So I think these types of performances, especially the one he just put up recently against FoxTheG, are going to be the norm. We're going to keep seeing these types of performances from Walid, and that's going to be the new Walid. And like you said, it's going to be like a he might become like a Pully, man. Just a better version of Pully, like an upgraded 2.0 Pully. But he's not gonna be that quote unquote Golden Glove Walid, the one that Dean likes to parade around to have in his resume. So that version might be gone. FoxTheG, on the other hand, yes, he's definitely getting a lot of more hype. And Yeti Gang called him out. Yeah. Lil Cray Cray said that he gives him his props, but he's not ready for that work. So we'll see regarding FoxTheG. Impressive performance. Could have done a bit better in my opinion, but regardless, he got the W over the very tough Walid Sharks. Now, those two fights were probably the big ones I wanted to talk about on Misfits 21. Overall, a very decent type of card. Not anything too crazy, but one thing they did confirm was that the next Misfits event will be taking place in the USA. And that kind of has me a bit worried because, as we know, that every single event that the US hosts Misfits events, it never really goes well. I mean, there's not really many people, doesn't really sell out, the names aren't really there. So if they are going to have another USA card here, they must be bringing in some type of superstars in here in order to try to fill out that arena, especially more American type influencers. But I think the the pool for USA influencers is pretty dry, especially when it comes to more mainstream, like in the UK. But now switching over to later in that evening was BrandRisk 07, Aiden Ross's own boxing promotion that he streams on Stake. Where does he stream it on? Stakes?
It's on Kick, I believe.
He streams it somewhere. But the big thing was, he had Rolly Romero. I mean, you're asking yourself, where was Rolly Romero? What's he been doing after upsetting Ryan Garcia? Well, he's been on his own little journey. He was recently a commentator on this influencer card, invited by Aiden Ross himself. Very funny guy, very funny commentary. But he was able to witness some of the best boxing you could possibly ask for, especially if you're trying to navigate influencer boxing to be more mainstream. This is the type of event that you definitely want to bring Rolly Romero to. Yeah. But the big one I want to talk about was Adam Saleh. He's one of the bigger names in influencer since the beginning of influencer boxing back in like 2018. And he was coming off a 2-year layoff against the very recognized journeyman and Pully. Pully is coming off, I don't know, he's lost a couple times, but I mean, he's mainly used as a kind of as a get back into the ring type of guy. Dean the Great recently used him, so Adam Saleh said, fuck it, I'll use him too. Yes, this was a very close fight, ended it in a split decision for Adam Saleh, but he was able to get the knockdown, and which ended up being the reason why he was able to get the win. So impressive performance from Adam. Do you think this is the type of performance that will strike fear into the hearts of Dean the Great or Lil Cray Crays or even FoxTheGs?
No. Oh my god, that's so funny. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, I guess Pully gets used around or passed around by the whole division. Yeah, so Adam hadn't what was it? He was gone for like 2 years. He hadn't fought in 2 years, so it's long overdue. Yeah, he came back against a guy who not the best fighter, but Adam did his thing. Congratulations to him. But I'm looking past this, man. I'm looking forward to see what's next. I think Adam Saleh. I feel like there was a lot expected from him, but he just was never able to deliver, and I still think he hasn't. So his next move better be calculated. Like, he has to fight someone who has some type of experience or has some type of validity to them. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like Little Cray Cray. I'm talking about Dean. I'm talking about some of these other guys, maybe even FoxTheG almost. I'm talking about someone who can give Adam the works, someone who is somewhat of same level playing field, someone who has the similar experience as him or even more. Yeah, because this was great, nice little comeback fight, but I'm expecting more from this guy.
Well, I don't even know. I don't even know if he wants to even be a boxer. Like, he's just like, he doesn't even fight, I feel like. So I don't even know if he is going to do that. If I were to bet, I think he's just going to go like another hiatus. Like, I think he's just going to cruise. The only saving grace that he had in this fight was that he got a really good knockdown. That knockdown was really nice, and that's easy clips. So that's his shining, like, that's saving grace that he got a knockdown in there. Yeah. But I mean, I don't even know what to think about him. I mean, I don't even know I don't even take him seriously because he barely fights. So should we even include him in the division? Shit, I don't even know. Maybe he would just continue to fight on like BrandRisks. And which BrandRisk, I feel like it's just like, I don't even know what to think about BrandRisk. It's so strange to me because like the fights are so bad. Like the fights are so bad. Yeah. And but the thing is though, since Aiden Ross is such a big name, he's able to get like these superstars to come into his event, like Rolly Romero. That's great. He had Teofimo Lopez a couple weeks ago. That's great. Like that's amazing. But I just feel like it just feels too much like a circus to me to like really consider it real boxing. Sometimes there's just a little bit of sprinkle of like actual influencer fighters that fight on there, but usually it's literally guys that don't even fight.
But I feel like, and to some degree, I feel like that's what influencer boxing is. It's a bunch of people who have large following on social media platforms, and then they just put on the gloves for the very first time and then just go up against another guy who has tens of millions of followers, and then they just both look ridiculous. I feel like it's almost not too far different from what Misfits is kind of doing. I mean, they get sometimes they get OF girls as well. I mean, or they get other guys who just do like live streams and stuff like that. Like, it's not too different. I just feel like BrandRisk does it a little bit more on the entertainment side.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because, like, bro, the Island Boys fighting each other, like, do I really need to be watching this shit right now? Like, come on, bro. Like, at least for Misfits, I feel like there's a little bit more seriousness, at least. Like, these guys, at least they had like a training camp of like a month. Like for BrandRisk, these guys, they didn't train anything at all. You know, most of these fights are just so bad. Like, maybe it's my traditional boxing. Maybe I'm becoming one of those guys, and I'm just like,
you're an old head.
Yeah, like it just reminds me of like a circus. I'm like, I don't want to watch this. So I don't know. I don't even know what to think about BrandRisk. I don't know what Aiden Ross even expects for to build it up to. It obviously seems like he wants to make it something, but is he gonna evolve it? I don't know. Is he gonna keep it like this? I don't know. You know, so I just have to wait and see.
He might just stop after the gunshots that happened after his event with Antonio Brown, was it? Yeah. Shot and took out his gun and started shooting. And then they caused the whole commotion afterwards. But yes, Aiden Ross. I mean, these BrandRisk, I would say, is just a sanctioned street fights. You know, like two guys that don't really know what they're doing, but it's entertaining to watch. Like, you know, when you see a street fight, just a recording, they're fun seeing them, right? So then these are just sanctioned in that manner. So overall, it's for entertainment. I mean, his fans are all casual. I mean, I don't really know a lot of these people, but I guess around the streaming world, they're pretty popular. I mean, you got one of the other halves of the Slim JXMMI. He's
a rapper that was part with
Sway Lee.
Yeah, Rick Schumer.
Yeah. So I mean, you have him like, and they're like, what are you doing there, man?
What is he doing there?
Yeah, what are you doing on an Aiden Ross influencer card like that headlining? But in the Island Boys was definitely the funniest thing, especially how that fight started. Yeah. So yes, I mean, I didn't really watch. I saw like the clips, and I saw like the scorecards afterwards and people's reactions to it, and I mean, they're pretty mixed. And overall, yes, I would agree that when it comes to comparing and contrasting BrandRisk to Misfits is for sure the more professional, the more serious type of promotion compared to the very funny BrandRisk that Aiden Ross presents to us. But for sure, for Adam Saleh, though, I believe that his next opponent, the one that they're trying to get him, is Dean the Great. Because after his fight, he had a face-off with Dean the Great. And Aiden Ross, I believe himself, stated that the next fight to make was, the winner of Pully, and Adam Saleh was going to get Dean. So now Dean the Great, if he does return, because Dean the Great is kind of in the same boat as Adam Saleh, that this man he's not too active either. I mean, he got in there against Pully. I mean, he looked kind of fat, and he looked kind of overall just very bad. But so that's possibly the next fight for Adam Saleh and for Dean, that matchup at BrandRisk. So we'll see. BrandRisk is probably here to stay for maybe another year or so. But that was the overall grand scheme of the return of influencer boxing this past week, and very interesting types of showings that we got. But now moving on to more traditional boxing, more so in the aspect of big rumors. Big rumor is that Teofimo Lopez, WBO champion or unified champion and Ring Magazine champion at the 140, is rumored to be in talks and negotiations with the current unified champion at 147, Boots Ennis. Now, this is a big matchup. I saw a lot of people give their takes on it or their early predictions. I saw some people say Teofimo Lopez beats Boots and that Boots shouldn't fight Teofimo. And I saw people say, well, Boots is going to obliterate Teofimo Lopez in regards to this potential matchup. What are your guys' thoughts about it?
Yeah, well, that's kind of crazy because, I have been seeing that. Like, for me, in my personal opinion, like, man, this is still too early because, the talks are very early. And, Teofimo fights at 140, Boots is at 147. But I feel like Teofimo Lopez is not a small guy. At 140, even at 140, he's a big dude. And at 147, I think he's gonna look tremendous. I think he's gonna look the best. But I mean, at 147, like I'm gonna have to my needle is gonna sway towards Boots. I mean, for many reasons. Boots is just the guy who can do just about everything. And I think I have seen this type of argument for Lopez's case. I mean, Lopez is a guy who can almost do a little bit of everything as well. He's almost like what they call a power puncher boxer type fighter. And but Boots, I just feel like Boots is just a lot more dangerous. He's a lot quicker, and I think he's a lot more smarter as well in the ring. And I think that is the reason why I kind of sway a little bit towards Boots. But yeah, why do you guys think the fans are kind of like divided between these two fighters?
I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think it's that hard, honestly. I mean, this would be a massive fight, and a massive fight because Teofimo Lopez, man, he's had some like legacy fights. He's always in these like really big fights. That's what I like about him. He does he even have 20 fights? I don't even think he has 20 fights. I think he has like 17 or 18, something like that. So, I mean, he's chasing real big fights. This would be a massive event for boxing. I think if I was Boots, I would love this fight, because Teofimo Lopez is such a huge name and be amazing to have that on your resume. But, yeah, listen, I just can't see Teofimo Lopez at 147, man. I can't see it. I don't think he's that big. I don't think he's that big. He's 5'8". He's like buff.
Stocky, yeah,
he's buff, like, right? So he's got good muscle on him. But where's the power? The power is gone at 140, man. It's not the same. And imagine going up to 147, going up against Boots Ennis. What is he, 5'10", 5'11", and a big guy. I'm sure he's weighing like 180, 190. Like he's a big guy, So, and also Teofimo Lopez has athleticism.
Yeah,
he's just like naturally just can kind of do it, but Boots Ennis is the real deal. And Boots Ennis, I think he has better boxing fundamentals, and I think he'd win.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of people are citing for Boots to beat Teofimo in a potential matchup at 147, but a big name who is citing for Teofimo is Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley stated, "Y'all gonna think I'm crazy. Boots Ennis better leave Teofimo Lopez alone. I'm telling y'all, leave that boy alone. He a real one." Blah, 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 blah. The two most athletic fighters in the game. Damn, if they was to go head to head. Yeah, Boots got all the attributes. The height, the long arms. But you know who's got the timing? That's Teofimo Lopez. Who was the last athletic guy that Boots fought? Karen? Don't think that Boots is going to be able to outpunch him. Go back and watch the Claggett fight. Teofimo got lungs too. He threw almost 1,000 punches in that fight. Boots, all those lapses you be having, you ain't going to be able to have them with Teofimo Lopez. That dude is on his game. When his mind is right, it's hard to beat that dude. Explosive, smart, high IQ, as well as you do. I'm letting you know, Eddie Hearn, if you're listening, if you don't want your guy to get beat, stay away from Teofimo Lopez. Big words from Timothy Bradley stating somewhat of a case for Teofimo Lopez to beat Boots. Do you guys agree with that statement? Do you think that the big thing that Teofimo has got is, his athletic demeanor, is also his mentality, and more importantly, his explosiveness and his timing? Do you think that's correct?
Listen, man. Look, I'm gonna agree with some of the things that Bradley did say. Lopez does have things that do favor him for this matchup against Boots. But I mean, I think for the past year, I think I've just kind of like every time Bradley talks, I just kind of like zone him out.
No, it's true, man. Sometimes he's just so insufferable.
He just goes on these tangents. It could be whether he's commentating or he just giving an interview. I might just, if I see it on my phone, I just scroll past it because, I mean, one thing. I mean, they're both just like how Teofimo and Bradley. They're a little bit on the same boat. They're I'm not sure. Look, Bradley was on Top Rank. He works with ESPN and Top Rank. Like, I'm gonna say there may be a little bit of bias there.
That's what it is, but probably that like 99% of what he said was basically just that, because that's what he says. That's why I don't even like Timothy Bradley. He's so fake. Like he'll say one thing like on Top Rank, and then he has like a podcast, I think, with Chris Algier, or maybe not Chris, somebody else. He has like this
he
YouTube
has like
channel.
his own channel now, yeah, and he'd be uploading videos and stuff like that, giving his thoughts
and behold, they're different, you know. Like he literally said it. I can't remember the exact take that he had, but he had this horrible take on Top Rank that he said, and then I watched on his channel, and he was all like, yeah, you know, I just gotta say that for Top Rank. I'm like, Tim, I'm like, Bradley, why do you think the fans don't like you, man? Like, so it's just what it is, man. Like he's just trying to big up Top Rank, big up the fighters that they have, and you know, obviously there's a ton of truth in that. You know, Teofimo Lopez is that guy. You know, he the best fighter at 140, I believe. He's a fantastic fighter. He's athletic, explosive. Timing is impeccable. Just naturally, he's just so good with the like intangibles. It's so hard to even measure it, but we're talking about Boots Ennis at 147. That's a whole different league we're talking about. We're not talking about a Lomachenko at 135, you know. We're talking about Boots Ennis, and that's just a different ballgame. And I don't think you can make the case that Teofimo Lopez wins.
Yeah, and that's funny. You mentioned Teofimo Lopez's power at 140, and you know, I was trying to think about when was the last time he got a stoppage at 140. Has he gotten a stoppage at 140, or has he had like one stoppage? Was that
I know he had a knockdown. I don't think he stopped. Oh no, he did stop Ocampo. Yeah,
okay.
And he dropped him as well.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that was like his first fight moving up to 140. So since then, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe he's gotten a stoppage.
Nope. Yeah, you're right.
So then at 147, in theory, his power would be
much less.
Less, right? In theory. Mm-hmm. So then that means if he were to fight Boots, he would have to beat him by points, by boxing him. And we have seen Boots' boxing ring IQ, and it's pretty high up there. And I'm not sure if, you know, Lopez's boxing abilities can match up against Boots.
Yeah, like at the same time, look at their last performance. I mean, they both put up good performances. I would say Boots put up an even better one. It's clearly Boots' best performance he's put up to date. I mean, he beat Stanionis in devastating fashion, whooped him. Yeah. Teofimo beat Barbosa, stunted on him. But the levels were different, you know. Barbosa underperformed severely, didn't, you know, live up to the expectations at all. Stanionis was simply just outclassed by Boots, who's in a different league than him.
He was beat down while Lopez basically won like a sparring match against Barbosa.
So he won a dance match. That's what it was. He was fucking so much dancing. You didn't even know if it was a boxing fight. Like,
so Teofimo Lopez, even though he has his attributes and his accolades at 140, for sure will, in my opinion, struggle against a 147 unified champion and Boots. I mean, we're talking about the best guy at that division, the guy who is eyeing undisputed, first of all, and also already talking about wanting to go up to 154. So not only is he the best fighter at 147, he's a big dude with power and timing and explosiveness, athleticism. He's got everything in his arsenal, ring IQ. And I just really don't see Teofimo Lopez going up to 147 and being able to challenge that as of right now. I think the big thing would be my power issue with Teofimo. I don't think he has enough crack in his punch to have Boots respect him. He simply would have to outbox him. And you made a good point. We have seen Boots box, man. When he goes into pure boxer, I mean, it's pretty much you can't really touch him. So I mean, Teofimo's gonna have to match that. And I'm not sure if he has that yet. I think it's better for him to stay at 140. But big ups to him if he has the balls, which he does. He's shown them multiple times, to go up to 147 and to actually fight the unified champion.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, it's going to be super excited if that fight does come to fruition. But
right now, I mean, Teofimo's reputation is in the mud right now.
Yeah, so is Teofimo Lopez going to get stripped from his belt?
Can they do that? I mean, listen, I don't even know what the sanctioning bodies have, but maybe they have a stipulation where like behavior can play a factor.
Well, possibly, but I'm pretty sure they do have like every organization, WBC, IBF, WBO, WBA, they have like their own board or whatever, and they kind of like go over things that, you know, should we strip a champion? Should we do this? So, you know, they have like their own ways on how they actually go about and do their business or whatever. So I'm kind of curious to see how that plays out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why Teofimo would say shit like that. Come on, bro. Like, you're getting recorded live by your dad. I mean, he's already like he's been under hot fire for quite some time now, and he just keeps on putting more logs into the fire. So he just keeps expanding the flames. And yeah, now, I mean, if the WBO does decide to take this route and strip him, I mean, he's still gonna be Ring Magazine champion, but he's definitely gonna be losing his WBO. They might just give it to Barbosa, man. But no, I actually wanted to also talk. You know, now speaking of Boots, like I said, his big goal is to become undisputed at 147, and at 147, one of the champions is Mario Barrios, and Mario Barrios is set to take on Manny Pacquiao in July, I believe. Now, this fight came out of nowhere. Makes absolutely no sense to me. I think it's the stupidest matchup that could possibly have been made for Barrios. And I think overall, this is the fault of the WBC, and it's showing their greed, honestly. I think this fight is a huge mistake. I think it's stupid. It makes no sense. And honestly, I feel for my boy Boots, because, you know, he's going to see like, yo, what the hell, man? Why does Manny Pacquiao, who's coming off a 4-year layoff, hasn't won since 2019? What the fuck? How's he getting a championship shot right away? Now he's officially ranked number 5 in the WBC 147. Like, it makes no sense how Manny Pacquiao was able to get this shot, besides the fact, other than knowing that the WBC is simply just being greedy. And it makes no sense. And Boots, I mean, let's say that Pacquiao does beat Barrios. Now Pacquiao's going to have to take on Boots. Dude, you really want to see Manny Pacquiao, 46 years old, take on Boots if he potentially does beat Barrios? I don't want to see that. That's going to be a pummel. It's going to be obliteration. It's going to be sad to see Pacquiao go out like that. But overall, yes, we got Barrios taking on Pacquiao, and potentially a new champion on the horizon at 147 for the former Filipino legend.
Yeah, for me, man, I mean, you know, that's the WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, you know, the president of that sanctioning body, you know, doing what he does best, business, making money. And so he understands, you know, the champions that he has in every weight class, and he understands how to match them up, you know. He knows how to get the right timing, you know. And for whatever reason, Manny Pacquiao wanted to come back, and so he saw the opportunity and decided to go for it. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this fight, because it's such a weird fight. It's a fight that I think nobody wanted, but we're going to get.
Yeah, it's weird, man, because it's so strange, because Manny Pacquiao was my favorite fighter. I loved watching him growing up. You know, like, oh my God, eight divisions, Hall of Famer, one of the top 10 best fighters in history of boxing. And he's coming back at 46 years old to fight Mario Barrios. Listen, man, I love Manny, but I don't even know if he's going to win. And I don't want to see him lose again, because it hurt me seeing him lose to Ugas. Yeah. Because Ugas, he could have whooped Ugas. Oh, my God. I could see it. Prime Pacquiao would have ripped him to shreds easily. But the timing was gone. The aggression was gone. What made Manny Pacquiao, you know, that feeling, the 80 punches around, that wasn't there. And Mario Barrios is a horrible champion. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, it's a very, very weak champion. It kind of shows you the state of the 147 division. He's beatable. But Manny Pacquiao at 46, after being semi-retired and a politician, I can't see him doing anything good in this fight, and I just think it's just gonna hurt me watching it.
Yeah, I mean, overall, here are my thoughts. Pacquiao coming back, I have no issue. I mean, even though yes, he's 46, he's a grown man. He's got a good team, you know. He's got his family. If they think he can come back, he can come back. You know, I mean, he can do whatever he wants. He's a grown man. The thing I have an issue with it though is the fact that he gets a championship shot right off the bat. Like, not only that, he gets automatically ranked within the top 5, which makes no sense. The only reason why he's even ranked within the top 10 is in order for them to justify giving him a title shot. I mean, but Pacquiao, like I said, hasn't fought since 2021, hasn't won since 2019, looked terrible against Ugas. He last fought last year in an exhibition against a kickboxer, I believe, and he looked bad. He looked terrible. People were trying to justify it, saying he didn't even train for that exhibition. Okay, cool, but like, you really think that a year older now Pacquiao at 46 is going to look good against a more in prime Mario Barrios? Even though, yes, Mario Barrios is not a strong champion, Pacquiao is not the same Pacquiao. I mean, we saw it against Ugas. And overall, Pacquiao can return, come back, and fight all he wants. But the fact that he gets a title shot over some of these other fighters at 147, even though it's not a big pool of talent at that division or in that sanctioning body where they have them ranked, I think it's disgraceful. I think the WBC, Suleiman are obviously just looking for that cash. And it makes me laugh because they still look at Manny Pacquiao as a way to get money. Like, Pacquiao was like the prime guy that every sanctioning body loved because they knew he would fill out the arenas. Yeah. He knew he was always exciting and people wanted to watch him. And it makes me laugh that in 2025, the WBC is still using Pacquiao as a way to get money. Like, make it, like, let it make sense. Like, it's obviously just a money scheme or a greedy money tactic for the WBC to allow this fight to happen.
Yeah, y'all see the training that was dropped for Manny, you know, hitting the heavy bag. I saw people were like happy about it. They're like, oh, he still got the speed. I'm like, guys, it's easy to look good on a heavy bag. And I love Pacquiao, so I don't know, man. It's difficult, you know. It's gonna be like Mario Barrios is gonna whoop Manny Pacquiao. Like, damn.
Yeah, for me, look, I'm gonna give super early prediction. Barrios is gonna win. You know, I hate to say this, but he's gonna win. But in the chance that Pacquiao wins,
imagine
that, dude.
Oh my gosh, dude. I mean, I'm saying I'm gonna be screaming from the rooftop, #1 greatest boxer of all time. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, Pacquiao wins. Generational win his story, bro. And then Pacquiao versus Boots Ennis for unification. Oh man, bro, voila, he's finished. But yeah, that's the whole big thing at 147. Big news: return of Pacquiao. We also have a banging undercard. Supposedly, we have the return of Pitbull Cruz, supposedly in a rematch against Angel Fierro, and also Tim Tszyu returns to take on Sebastian Fundora in a rematch as well to back up this very, unnecessary headliner featuring Pacquiao against Mario Barrios. But I think we covered everything that we wanted to cover for today. Let us know down below, do you guys think that Manny Pacquiao can defeat Mario Barrios? And if he does beat Mario Barrios, do you think that Pacquiao can beat Boots Ennis, bro? Let us know down below. Also, let us know your thoughts about Teofimo Lopez against Boots. Who do you think wins in that matchup? And let us know about your thoughts on BrandRisk 07 as well as Misfits 21. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on all forms of social media. We are on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Lastly, we're trying to build up a community on Discord, and you guys joining would be greatly appreciated. But this was Pablo, and I'm with Rudo and Asa, and this was the Last Round Podcast. Thank you for watching.